and also the God and the other beings of the kind, however superior their physical form, do not meet the requirement laid down for the taking the patimoksha vows, and therefore cannot assimilate the Dharma in its the totalities. And also it is like we say, is highest our Ralamas, God Ralamas. God Ralamas is like a kind of this Ralamas according to some meritorious positive result. And of course, it's more higher than ours, the human's existence. When we reborn in there, like everything is natural, we born naturally, and also it's like whatever we need, sound, smell, taste, it's naturally occurring. And also it's like all the times they distracted their mind, the pleasant of the 5 desirable objects. But of course, they have this kind of distracted, they cannot like to practice Dharma. And also they cannot to receive the patimoksha vows, probably because of their mind is distracted very much, according to like 5 desirable objects, like a form, smell, sounds, and all the time they have excellent form, excellent smell, excellent sound, music, and their mind is completely preoccupied with this kind of conditions. But of course, they have such sufferings. When in this course is the finished, and then they are going to the hell or in the falling into the lower Ralamas. And before the death, they have such and sufferings. Maybe we can to study and the next chapter, like a 3rd chapter or something. But anyway, even though we reborn in the God Ralamas, it's not very good, difficult to practice Dharma. But we are not, we are human existence. It's the marvelous. And also has to, that is the meant by the center region, center place. Also should distinguish between a geographically center region and the place that is the center in the terms of the Dharma. And in terms of the Dharma, this central region, central place, the place and the Dharma. And there's 2 kinds of the central place or central region. And then this, geographically speaking, the central region is generally said to the Vajraseat at the Buddha Gaya in the India, because it's like the Vajraseat at the Buddha Gaya, it is the indeed, there is the Buddha's enlightenment. And at the center of the Jambudvipa, the southern continent. And this is in like kind of, we call the, it's Jambudvipa. This name is, there's many explanations. And also I'm considering, and according to the science, geographic kind of the researchers, and also sometimes it's difficult to believe the Mountain Mirror. And the Mountain Mirror is quite a very, very huge and large, extraordinary, big, and I mean it's like, and then it's like Mountain Mirror is like this mandala, when we look at this mandala, we are a little bit similarity this mandala. This mandala is 4 steps. And then there are something a little bit like this. And also mountain mirrors like this. There's 4 steps is outside the water or something. 4 steps inside the water or something. And then it's the top of there. Look, this is a little bit high. And there is we have some is the 32 desire Ralamas. And 32 design like the God Ralamas, they are not really, but a little top of the mountain Moros, they are living. And also it's like Ndola Rikduk says, like in the desire, the 6 desire Ralamas, God Ralamas, they are like kind of God we're talking about. Ralamas, they are such kind of the round. And also it's like we can to communicate to them. And then this top of there is, we put it like the volume, it's like these Tibetan books. And this kind of there is, the top of there is the foam Ralamas. And it's not touched to the mountain Moro. There's 4 steps of the foam and Ralamas, the foam Ralamas. Then is top of there is, we can to round, this one's formless Ralamas. It's completely, there's no forms. Just there is Ralama, but formless mentalism. Just mentalism, there's no physicals. Like this mountain Moros is like 4 directions. We were in the south directions. In the south direction, there's the like big continent and small continents. In the small continent, there are very tiny of the universe. Our universe is very, very tiny. And there, and then our in the direction is the mountains, and a lot of this how do you say, the jewel, the stone, blue stone. How do you call it? The lapis lazuli. It's like a mountain is full of like this, and therefore the luminous shine in the water. This shiny water is like a blue light to the mountain. In the space is like we say is the blue space, and white or something is, and blue for us. In the eastern is mountains is like crystals, and the space is white. And then is the western is like yellow, and the south, north is like kind of more green. This like they say. But then it's like very small. But there is one very big tree. And this tree has some very huge the fruits. And very much yellow, and sometimes automatic like coconut. Have you heard coconut? Like, sometimes falling down. In the world, sometimes I heard this 1,000 people can killed in the Africa, India. When you are going on the tree, coconut falling down, hit your head. Like these trees, and sometimes these fruits falling into the ocean. And then it's near this, there are something, it's a very enormous cave. Trees, these fruits is falling down into the water, and this water has huge wave, and this sound is go to hit the cave, and then the cave make the echo, and like kind of dum. And according to this sound, is a given name of our Jamba Vipa, and therefore, and Jamba Vipa in our like kind of our own continent, and very small. It's difficult to see the really to the mountain Moro. My Ami says it's difficult to measure by the some machine, some how do you say what do you call the machine to look in the space, telescope or something. And because our eye is like, our continent is very, for example, maybe it's mountain Moro is this one, but for our continent maybe it's difficult to see in these particles. And maybe it's like too huge, and we don't know. Like sometimes it's the guinea pigs, mouse, and they look in the sky, but eyes too small. Fox, these hawks, birds, is coming to falling direct coming, but they don't see. Certainly, they catch the something falling down until there. Because like this, we are as like too small, our continent. Therefore, it's difficult to say the mountain mirror. Of course, to many now researchers says mountain mirror is not truly existence. Even though sometimes holiness say maybe mountain mirror is difficult to say its existence. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't to say no existence. You know, it is like when we really to look at this mountain mirror, for example, even we to see the place of the sun, man, I'm not sure, it's like difficult to say it. But anyway, in this our Jambaripa, in the southern continent, and there is, in this our world, there is, in the Buddha Gaya, there says that 1,000 Buddhas should to be enlightenment in this place. But I think it's like maybe someone says this Buddha Gayas, the end of our universe is disappeared. You know, it's like water, fire. Then that time is also it says the Buddha Gaya is never no problems. It's like kind of the never to destroy. And also someone says that in the Akanishta, for example, we can to look there is. This is first from the desire realms, our mountain mirror, and then top of there is there is form realms. Like form realms, there is the 4 dhyanas, and the last 4th dhyanas, there is like the 8 kind of like 8 cities, 8 areas. And first 2, if you can to divide it, there is like each one has 3, 3, 3, and then is the last one is like 3, the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth one is based, there is a 3 categorization, but then is the top of there is like 5 continent. This 5 continent is really, is like pure, quite great and a situation more higher than it's like a situation the God. And then there is the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one is we call the Akanishta. It's like kind of in the Akanishta there is there's relative pure lands like Amitabha Pure Land, Sondopari, all this kind of is like we can to say there is the Akanishta. But this is the relative Akanishta. Maybe we can to say it's like that there is like conceptually we can to go there, like same as ours. In the reality, maybe we can to say Belgium is maybe not existence. But in the relative point, we can say, I can go to Belgium. I can work in Belgium. Belgium's, there are something, you know, geographically size like this, population is like this, situations like this, rule is like this, how many cities like this, you can do. But reality is maybe Belgium's, which Belgium's not Belgium. Belgium itself is the name of the Belgium, not, but how it is cannot choose the existence. Like this, in the relatively, there is the Akanishta. In the Akanishta, there is, you call the Buddha Gaya, there is one. And generally, when we be enlightenment, our mental level is a lot more and more meditations higher and higher and higher. Then your mind is a level of the be in this Akanishta. You be enlightenment, and then the showing in the like a kind of manifestation in this different like a word or particularly here. And this ultimate Akanishta is our center, the nature of the mind. That is the not outside. This is in our mind. And anyway, it's like Buddha is like really is enlightened in the Akanishta Buddha Gaya, but in the relatively is here enlightened in the Buddha Gaya in India. And there is. And also it's the 1000th Buddha of the good Kalpa, all the attain enlightenment. There is a wonderful histories if you study the Abhidhamma Kosha, Abhidhammas, yeah. And because it's like this, how it is the universes came. First time space, then there's the air, and then water, and then it's slowly water is like create earth, and then is fire, so on is coming. And first times water is one water drop on the airs. Like for example, same as now, you know, we go to in the higher, and then there's no airs moving, we can do jumping, we can do fly, but there's no breathe. It's because air is like all the times thing. And then if you put water, it doesn't falling down, water is moving there. Like this, in the space, big one drop of water is coming, and slowly, slowly, there's first times happened, arise 1000 lily flowers coming, and then there's those dhyānas, levers, formed realms. Some is old, particularly third or fourth dhyānas to see. Wow, there's nice water like Baba inside the 1000 leaves. And the young dhyāna says, wow, nah, maybe pick. No, what is the science? Maybe it's, in this word, there's maybe 1000 Buddhas appears. And this is the reason, what is we can to say in the Jambaripa or this universal? Because it's, everything is like impermanent. There's nothing kind of permanent, impermanent. Also our universal, first times appear, while to stay, then finally is disappeared, 100%. Then there is the duration, like we can to say it's like 20 like kind of the eons, and like maybe 18 great eons or something. There is like calculation in the Buddhist like kind of the how do you say it's maths or mathematicians or the maths point. And there is the calculations as how many eons, like kind of to at the beginning is take a long time to appear our universe, and then is slowly, slowly everything is to build up, and then is the how many long times to stay, and then it's like kind of like same as our body is become the old, and then slowly, slowly maybe it's like we can say full of the pollution and all the like kind of the energies and essential element is dissolved, and then it's one day maybe fire, water is coming, then it's disappeared. Same as like our body, and then these durations occurring, arising, while to appear during these periods, maybe there's 1000 Buddhas appears. Even in the universal destructions at the end of the kalpas, the four elements cannot harm it. And it's like the four elements, they cannot harm it. And it is the remain there was if the spent in the space. And like kind of the four elements, waters cannot, fire, air, everything. It is like four elements, how it is. Beginning also is an element is coming. For example, first space, then air is come. Air is like this net is coming. Then top of there is drop of the water. And then water slowly is to mix, create the earth. Then is the fire. Then there is heat, cold, and then is animal beings is coming like this. Also maybe the finally we can to say is like maybe some pollutions hotter and hotter and hotter, and then is the universe is burn. This is the first the destroy of the fire, and then is second is some cooling the smoke, something is water is coming. Water raining is the huge raining. One piece of the falling water, maybe size of the, almost it is like Europe or something. Very huge, like big house of falling water. Then is second, destroy the water. And then is the fourth, I think is first fire, water, and then is, of course, the earth is burned, everything is collapsed, and then it's like the wind is coming under the, like this wind, something coming out, completely disappeared into the space, nothing exists, disappeared into. And like this, even this kind of 4-element situation happened, but and Buddha Gaya, it is never no problem said. But maybe someone said this is not really in India Buddha Gaya, the Buddha Gaya of the Akanishta, or the ultimate Buddha Gaya is like this. But anyway, it is like the India Buddha Gaya, they say it's like this, and because there's need to enlightenment. And also it's at the center, the grows, the tree of the enlightenment. Tree of the enlightenment, Bodhi tree, under all the times enlightenment. This place with all the towns of the India around it, it is therefore considered the central region in the terms of the geographic is in India. But of course, yesterday I said, it's the geographically central Dharma, it is the India, but central place is India, but central Dharma is now is not really India. Maybe now slowly it's like Indians collecting the Buddha's teaching, but maybe it's like wherever Dharma teaching is arrive, then this place is the central place of the Dharma, like this. Maybe we can to stop 5 minutes.